Alright, so in number 1 we're simplifying this expression. So there are a couple different ways that you can do this, but in every way that you do it, you're going to be doing one small step at a time. So we've got all these exponent rules, and we have a pretty big problem here, but we're going to do one step at a time, and we're going to make it a little bit simpler each time. So first thing, let's deal with this negative exponent. So if we have a negative exponent, we can flip it to the other side and make it positive. So then we'll have, this will all be equal to x to the 7th, y cubed, and then we brought this y to the negative 2 up top, y squared, z squared, all over. And then we have on the denominator an 8x, or an x to the 8th. Then we moved that y to the negative 2nd up to the top, and the z to the 5th. So now let's combine our y's here. So if we're multiplying like bases, we can add the exponents. So an x to the 7th, 3 plus 2 would be 5, so y to the 5th, z squared, all over x to the 8th, z to the 5th. Alright, so now we can simplify a little bit further. So we can think about having, so we have 8 x's on the denominator, x to the 8th, so we have 8 x's on the denominator, we have 7 x's on the numerator. So we're going to be left with, if we canceled all those out, we'd be left with 1 on the denominator. So we'll just have an x. You also can think of that like 7 minus 8 would get us a negative 1, and then since it's negative, it would go on the denominator. Either way to think about that is valid. So we have an x in the denominator. Y's we can't do anything with because we've only got one left. And then same thing with the z. So we have 2 z's on the numerator, 5 z's on the denominator. If we canceled out 2 z's on the numerator, we'd be left with 3 z's on the denominator. Canceled out 2 z's on the numerator, we'd be left with 3 on the denominator. Or you can think about 2 minus 5 would be negative 3, so we'd have z to the negative 3rd. Since it's a negative exponent, it would go on the denominator. And this is as simple as we can get. So again, we started with this big thing up here. We made it a little bit simpler by moving that negative exponent up to the top, right here. We combined our 3 and 2 to get us a 5, and then we looked at what we could do with these guys. We subtracted those exponents.